Good morning, everyone. Sorry for the late delay. We had a little bit running over at the healing service. My name is Reverend Lorina. I'm the pastor here at First Spiritualist Church. And we are so honored to have each and every one of you here to add to the energy, the joy, the harmony, the family, the community. And I just want to thank you all personally for being here and sharing. I'm sweating. So, my panel today, I have our guest lecturer, Reverend Penelope Quirk. And our platform message bearer, Douglas Barker. Brianna Exime. And we have Jeff, I forgot your last name. Jeff, what's your last name?
Lee.
Thank you, I knew that, Lee. And our usher, Cam Martinez, thank you for welcoming everyone in and taking their temperatures. Okay, so I apologize ahead of time. I've only had a couple hours of sleep, and I want to tell you why. When we stand up here at the end of the service and we give messages, and we tell people, when you hear a message going to someone, listen, because it could be for you. My son-in-law was talking a couple of weeks ago about the opening of lobster season and how you have to go at night. And I was so excited. I was like, oh my gosh, take me, I want to go. And they're like, sure, no problem. You have to get this, this, and that, and be ready and be at the pier, and it's going to be all night. And I'm like, yes. And then I got to thinking, you know what? I really should spend the money on groceries, you know, the mom brain. And then last week, we had Reverend Robert Anderson giving a message to Ray. And I want to thank both of you. Because he came to Ray and he said, you need to go fishing. This is what's going to bring joy to your soul. And this is a message from the universe. And I know that I stood right up here and I knew that that message was for me also. So because of you allowing yourself to open up and give that message to Ray, and my higher self being tuned enough to receive that, I embarked upon my first lobster fishing trip last night. So I've got about 2 hours sleep, and I have to tell you, if you don't have a chance to do something that you've never done before, take it. Just take it. We only brought 2 back because you have to have a certain size, but it was the experience. I've never seen anything like that in my life. The ocean is alive at night, like so alive. There's people everywhere, and it's dog eat dog. There's divers trying to take stuff out of your net, so you watch their flashlights, and it's like, oh my gosh, and there's people everywhere, and they're dropping, and you'll see little rowboats with a little light, and it's midnight, and it's just like, these people are crazy, but everyone is so friendly and enjoying each other, and it's amazing that it's a whole other world that I never experienced. And I wanted to share that with you because so many times in our human minds, we don't do things that our soul would find joyful. We don't take vacations that we desperately need. We don't make phone calls that we need to make. We don't do things because we put other people first. We put our jobs first. We put other things first. Because somehow we forget to remind ourselves how important we are and that our soul has value. And every experience that presents itself to us is an incredible value upon our soul. Whether it's a good experience or you maybe label it as not. Everything that comes through has a purpose. Every one of us, regardless of what an opinion may be, has a purpose. And I'm going to tell you what that main purpose is. and that is to create through joy. Find the beauty in yourself. Don't ask anyone else to approve of you except you. Love you like you would your best friend in the whole world, because you are your best friend. And if you don't realize that, and if you don't put yourself first, even if you're a mom, you're not teaching your children to put themselves first. So it's important for us to value every moment and every opportunity that the universe brings to us. So if somebody says to you something and your heart sparks excitement, that is your emotional guidance system that says, I'm opening to joy. So receive it, allow it, and feed your soul. We're on this planet for a purpose, and there's so many different experiences than what we do every single day. Last night was very profound for me on many levels. Seeing the nature spirits, the ocean, the people, and a whole other world than what I see every day was an eye-opener on how many boundaries and restrictions I put on my own self. So I wanted to share that with you. I had no idea that it was going to go this way. But clearly there's someone here today that needed to hear that. And I offer you that with my highest blessings and my love. So if you would please just close your eyes and take in a deep breath. And exhale. Take in another deep breath. And exhale, allowing your temples to rest, your shoulders to drop down, your heart to open. And we welcome you, wonderful Spirit, all that is, friend, beloved God, angels, guides, teachers, and loved ones. We feel your presence here this morning, and we welcome you with love and gratitude as we gratefully receive your love, your light, and your blessings. Now take a moment and breathe in as you personally welcome in your angels. And we thank you, we thank you, we thank you. And so it is. So I'm going to do something a little bit. Oh my goodness. They're upside down. Is everyone's upside down or just mine? The universe is messing with me. No. Okay, well mine is upside down. Awesome. And I want to do something a little bit different. So I told you I was really tired this morning, and yours doesn't even, okay. So this morning, when I jumped in the shower, I had all these messages flooding in. I hurried up and sent it to my son so that I'd remember it this morning. But then, of course, I ended up getting a different message. So I asked Pam if she could hurry up and deliver this for you this morning. Good morning. Reflection. The outer world is a reflection of my inner thoughts and emotions. If I choose to make changes in the world that is around me, I will first go inside and adjust the dial to enjoy that which is inside me. When I'm able to find gratitude in every person and situation, I will be able to manifest the reality that I purposely choose to create. So, when we're talking about manifesting, a lot of times we get lost in something called manifestor state consciousness, where we think that we are making our manifestations happen. But if we are in unity consciousness, then we know that we are one with Source and one with Creator, one with the universe, and manifestations happen naturally. It happens through us based on the vibration that we are creating. And part of that vibration
has to do with our level of gratitude for the conditions that already are around us. If we can find joy in the conditions that we've already created, we create more joy. We can find joy in all conditions. We can look around and we can be in gratitude for the beautiful colors of the purple painting on the wall, or we can be in gratitude for the shirt that we have on, today, or we can look at a tree or a flower, and we can find such immense joy in that thing, knowing that we are one with Creator, one with Source, and that we are everything around us that brings us joy. So, if we really want to, if there's something in our outer world that is making us unhappy, we can set the real world boundaries with those things, and we can make choices for ourselves that protect us from experiences that we don't want to have. However, we can also adjust our inner dial to be that of love, of unconditional love frequency, creation energy. We can get in that flow in so many different ways, not only gratitude, but in creating itself. Every time we make something creative, whether it's music, whether it's art, whether it is writing a poem or telling a story, we get into the same flow as our Creator. That is how we get into the flow of what is supposed to be manifested in our life without feeling like we need to force it to happen. Because remember, every time we try to force it to happen, we are saying we don't have what we need. And we do have what we need. We have everything that we need right now. So, thank you for letting me give that message.
I needed to hear
Thank
that.
you for bringing this. Okay, and now it's with great pleasure to introduce our speaker, Reverend Penelope Quirk. And I've known her for I don't know how long now, but I can tell you that she is definitely one of my angels here on this earth. And I value her mediumship. She's an extraordinary medium. She has a wonderful story in her life, a beautiful family, and she's an amazing artist. But when it comes down to just being an overall person that walks their walk and talks their talk, I am so honored to be a friend or in your circle or even just to serve with you. I honor you. Reverend Penelope Quirk is an ordained minister from the Fraternal Spiritualist Church. She loves the First Spiritualist Church and loves knowing that each and every one of you are part of her church family. She's an artist, entrepreneur, and a butterfly whisperer. She's the president of Art Smarts Incorporated, a company which teaches kids after-school art lessons. During these challenging times of coronavirus, Penny has reinvented her business, and she and her daughter have been diligently working on putting the art lessons on Art Smart's YouTube channel. Awesome. My kids took her classes, 2 of mine. Thursday, she teaches kids online art lessons via Zoom. In her spiritual work, Reverend Penny has been teaching a weekly Zoom Oracle card workshop and is looking forward to facilitating weekly Zoom spiritual development classes. Readings are available via her weekly Zoom development circle as well. Her current hobbies are painting sea turtles and raising monarch butterflies. While her business has been occupying most of her time, the hungry monarch caterpillars keep her engaged every day. In her 4th year of raising monarchs, Penny has successfully released 1,430 monarchs, including 2 rare queen monarchs. She even currently has 4 swallowtail butterfly caterpillars, and she is raising in the indoor nursery. Aww. She feels that she's not only helping the monarch population, but also helping people to think about their loved ones, as butterflies are often used as signs from spirit. During our time in quarantine, Reverend Penny has produced an affirmation card deck called the Quarantined Butterfly. If anyone here is requesting requesting a handwritten note on a butterfly note card from Reverend Penny, please give her your name and address. She's always trying to do her best to shine the light and vibrate. Reverend Penny always tries to encourage and uplift and share all those blessings. So please help me welcome Reverend Penny Quirk.
Wow, thank you so much. It's just so nice to be here. Wow. Our church is on Zoom every week. And I don't know when we're going to be opening, so this is a true blessing for me. True blessing. So, anyway, the topic of my talk is called Having Had a Spiritual Awakening as a Result of Working These Steps. And the other night, my talk was going to be totally different, but about 3 in the morning I woke up and I kept hearing that over and over and over again. I don't know why, it just came out of spirit. Having had a spiritual awakening as a result of working these steps. Over and over, over and over. And then I'm like, insomnia. I was like, having had a spiritual awakening as a result of working these steps. And I knew that there were a lot more words to that, so I wanted to refresh my memory. So I got up out of bed and I turned on the light to find a book, one of my books on recovery, to look up the 12th step for the recovery process. So the 12th step goes like this. And this is from the Life Recovery Bible. So it's generic. And it's all-encompassing, rather than just to focus on the alcoholic or addict or whatever 12-step program there is out there, and there are hundreds of them. So having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we try to carry the message to others and to practice these principles in all our affairs. Having had a spiritual awakening as a result of working these steps is what I kept hearing over and over. I knew it was that 12th step. So applying these steps, being consciously aware of these steps, living these steps. It's a spiritual awakening. It's very exciting. It's very exciting to be more aware spiritually, to be enlightened. It also entails freedom. Freedom from bondage, and that brings joy and happiness into your life. No attachments. During these unprecedented, unforgiving, challenging, chaotic times, a spiritual awakening might be what many of us can use right now. So what brings the alcoholic, addict, or whatever dysfunctional disorder one may have to these steps? These 12 steps were inspired by God, Spirit, or they may refer to God as their higher power. It's the enough is enough, the tiredness of the insanity, the hitting rock bottom. It's the I'm either going to die or else. Some people who work the 12 steps consider themselves the lucky ones, the chosen ones, the star seeds. They feel blessed and humbled because they know where they came from. They've lived through and are quite familiar with the insane dysfunction, the chaos. After the suffering as the suffering increases in one's life, the desire for a spiritual awakening increases. They've lived through it and they do recover. Most people stay asleep and comfortable with their dysfunction, but there's always hope. I'm not only talking about the alcoholic or the person with the one that has the problem, but there's also the people like Al-Anon, that 12-step, the people that live in a dysfunctional household. We're in a country of dysfunction. Some may say the world of dysfunction. This is why I was inspired to talk to you today about the steps into recovery. These are the 12 steps. 1, we admitted that we were powerless over our dependencies, that our life had become unmanageable. Yes, I admit that there's something wrong here, and I need to change it. We have no power over people, places, and things. I don't have any control over the virus, nor the government. Yes, my life is unmanageable. I'm on unemployment from my own company, which I spent 18 years developing, building it up from scratch. I am admitting I have no control. And everything is as crazy as a bat on steroids. 2, step 2, we came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. This is my utmost favorite step of all times. First time I ever worked step 2, I experienced 163 coincidences within a 3-week period. These God stories are where we come to believe. And if you ever heard me talk before, my whole life is full of these magical synchronicities, giving me proof of the intelligent, omnipotent, omnipresence nature of God. Of course, in step 2, you have to experience insanity in order to be restored to sanity. But that's where you drop the politics, put away the channel changer, go outside, and for me, just stare at nature. Guaranteed you'll find some miracles. Here's an example of step 2 that still happens in my days, is for me teaching the art classes. Last week, we were painting a parrot. So I have 1,800 people on my emailing list, and I sent out the flyer with parrots, specifically a macaw parrot. So with that, I've had maybe about 5 or 6 kids come every week to my Thursday art class. So I thought I'd expand it to 4 different schools, my major schools. Spend the extra $100, even though it's only $10 per kid. So I spent the extra $100, let it go, gave it to God, and I made the flyer a generic flyer with a macaw on it, and then the sample of what we were doing. And that last Sunday, we were coming back from Dog Beach, went into the 7-Eleven parking lot. My husband went in to get a soda. Right there on the ground next to me
Oh my goodness.
Whoa.
That's beautiful.
was a macaw feather.
Get out. Oh my goodness. The blue side is so pretty.
So these are the type of stories, coincidences that happen to me all the time. This is also very similar to step 11. It's interesting how step 2 is the first one from step 1, and step 11 is the one right before step 12. And step 11, I'm going to just skip ahead here a little bit, because I won't say it. That's pretty much using prayer and meditation to give you that closer conscious contact with your higher power, God, what spirit, source, energy, whatever you want to, this incredible intelligence in this universe. When you make that connection and you become aware more and more and more, that's where the joy and happiness and connection, I get excited all the time. And my story to go along with step 11 is a few weeks ago, sitting in the morning, I sometimes give myself an oracle card spread to see what's going on today, how's it, what do I need to look at? And I said, you know what, I'm going to pray today, pray to God in the angel kingdom and say, you know what, I'd like to ask for a miracle in nature today. Please show me one of your miracles in nature. Sure, we could go outside and look at a flower and that's a miracle, right? Absolutely. Depends on which way you want to look at it. So I let that go. And then I was swimming, doing my therapy swimming that afternoon, because I had forgotten that I had prayed that. Right in front of me, a swallowtail butterfly laid an egg on a citrus tree right in front of me and then flew away. And I decided to take it inside and bring it into the nursery and next to my monarchs, because it can be pretty tough out there with all of the spiders and diseases and everything that you're watching. So I decided, okay, I'm going to learn the Andes swallowtail. And so when I went out the next day to get food or actually I don't need food yet, but when I went to go, get some more things outside, I found a few more. So now I have 4 caterpillars. One's a chrysalis, another one is going to turn into a chrysalis today. And even with my husband, I tell him, don't trim the orange trees or lemon trees, because on these swallowtails, that's their food. That's their food. So he couldn't help himself. Like 4 days later, he's like trimmed all of it. And I did not know. I went out to get food for the hungry big caterpillars, and there was none because he had trimmed it all. He goes, oh, I didn't know you were talking about that. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I went over and I found a little teeny caterpillar on another lemon tree leaf. And I would not have found that one, so I brought that one inside too. So it's just like that miracle keeps going on and on, which is, it's phenomenal. When you ask for something, then it can be given right away, all those things. So that's going to step 3. We made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood Him. This leaves room for any belief, whether it's source energy, God, the universe, Buddha, Allah, belief in nothing. However you understand the universal life force, that super, ultra super, omnipotent, omnipresent intelligence that runs the universe, this is the step where you get down on your knees and you turn your life over. It's an amazing step. So step 4, we made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. The first time I worked this step, took me 1.5 years to write everything down. Second time I did that step, it took me 4 months. The third time took me 2 months. Journal, journal, journal. This is really where you get to take a good hard look at yourself and your actions. And that's pretty intense right now with all of this stuff that's going on with people. And if you take a good, long, hard look at yourself, that's where it all begins, just from within yourself. 5, we admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. This step is kind of like a confession. Never done confession because I'm not Catholic, but just sitting down with somebody who's willing to listen, plus God, and that's all that it takes. Number 6, step 6, we were entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character. So you hear so much about being open to receive. You hear that all the time. Okay, just be open to receive, just be open to receive. Well, this step's all about being open to remove. Being open for God to remove these character defects. So number 7, step 7, we humbly asked him to remove our shortcomings. Oh wait, that's what we hear all the time. Ask your angels to help you. We humbly asked him to remove our shortcomings. I love how the water is really low right now. The fountain.
Yeah, they don't know about that.
They
little
can't
trick.
help you if you don't ask. It's a universal law. What happens when something is removed and takes up space? Perhaps that space needs to be filled with something good, positive, uplifting, encouraging, and spiritual. Step 8, we made a list of all persons we had harmed and became willing to make amends to them all. Simple. Make a list and then become willing. That's it. Step 9, we made direct amends to such people wherever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. This whole program too is about honesty and also making yourself accountable. And if you do somebody harm, boom, you can say, oh gosh, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. Just be honest. I'm sorry I hurt your feelings. I saw it this way. Number 10, step 10, we continue to take personal inventory, and when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. That's what I was just talking about. That's a sense of freedom. We've gotten rid of all that garbage and baggage we've been carrying around our entire life, and now you're free. And so it's just kind of keeping your daily house clean. That's it. Here's step 11. We sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understand him, praying only for the knowledge of his will for us and the power to carry it out. So prayer. What is prayer? Focused thought. Focused, positive, healing thoughts. Meditation. What is meditation? Quieting the mind in peaceful surroundings and being open to receive any inspired thoughts from God. And if the universe inspires you with some great ideas, it most certainly will give you the means to carry them out. This step brings you so much closer to your spiritual connection. So when I go out into my butterfly garden and I just observe nature, I'm quieting my mind. I am staying in the now, present, and giving 100% attention to everything in my garden and my caterpillars. And that has really, has saved my life over the last 4 years of just going through all of this stuff. But when I got the butterflies going, it really grounded me back to Mother Earth. Really did. So number 12, having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we tried to carry this message to others and to practice these principles in all our affairs. There you have it, the reason for this talk. Having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we tried to carry this message to others. Tried. Meaning, if you want what we have, follow our guidance. And if you don't follow our guidance, that's okay. We are here for you when and if you are ready. Because this isn't the only way to spiritual enlightenment. You can have your own. There's, especially in this religion, there's no one way. So you see, some people like to stay in their comfort zone of their chaos, or they will self-hypnotize and stay asleep because that is what they are comfortable with. That's what is easy for them. They live with the pain, they live with the fear, and feel trapped. That's okay. As we all know, they are, through our greatest challenges comes our best achievements. The desire for spiritual awakening, in this case, is only prompted from extreme conflict and contrast. I've heard people say that once you go down this road, there's no going back, meaning the spiritual road, the path. In other words, once you've started down that road to spiritual awakening, you don't want to go back to being asleep. It's fun up here. One final thing I want to leave you with is something that Eckhart Tolle said. He said, any change in your consciousness is a change in human consciousness as a collective consciousness. So stay positive, stay light, and stay happy. Thank you for this time.
Beautiful feather.
Thank you.
Can you believe that? And the size of that, but they really wanted you to see it.
Yes.
Okay, so that was wonderful. Thank you, Reverend Penny. And you know, the steps, it's just constantly being aware. And it's interesting about what you said about taking inventory on yourself in a journal, because I'm back studying in an intensive course. And my homework, not last week, but the week before, was to keep a journal from the time you get up to the time that you go to bed, but write down your thoughts. And it will literally show you your thought patterns. Within 3 days, I was completely blown away. I was like, there are things I obsess about. And it's usually about someone else, like someone else's health or someone else's, or my children. And if you do this, I promise you, it will show you what your mind is doing throughout the day. So if you're concentrating on not having a job or not being well, or whatever it is you're concentrating on, you think that you're redirecting your mind, or you think that you generally have positive thoughts. Well, I was really shocked, because I'm always redirecting. And I tell you what, it really opened my eyes on how many compulsive thoughts I have. And you would be surprised, a 2-second thought that keeps coming back around every 20 minutes, half an hour, or hour, what you're thinking is magnifying and becoming, a slave to your thoughts. So once you become aware of where your mind's going, then you're able to be, instead of allowing your body to control your mind, now you're allowing your mind to control your body. And what do I mean by that? Because if you have anxiety, nervousness, heart palpitations, anxiety, sadness, whatever it is, that's the physical response controlling your mind. So when your body starts doing what it does, if you have these anxiety attacks or whatever, or you think about things obsessively that take you to a place where you don't need to be, acknowledge it. Step 1. Step 2, breathe. Focus on your breath. Calm your heart down. I am always safe in the universe because the universe is inside of me. And you take a slow breath through your nose, in, exhale through your nose. Allow your body to become completely soft and present. And then you direct your mind where you want it to go, instead of it leading you. And this is my personal experience and incredible homework. And if it seems like a lot of work and you forget to carry a pen and paper around, then you're not really that interested in what your thoughts are actually doing most of the time. Because if you try this experiment, try it one day, just one day. Carry a pen and paper around with you. And every time you get a thought, what is it that you're thinking? And when it repeats itself, it's going to show you like a highlighter. This is what I need to work on, releasing and not allowing to control me. So thank you for that. And it's, Reverend Joe always said, journal, journal, journal. And I always said I don't have time. But you know what? When you make the time, it changes your life. It does. So our special music today is Phineas Levy. And I'm very excited to have him here. Are you awake? Can you try to contain your excitement? It's overwhelming. So, anyways, this is Phineas Levy, and I haven't seen you for a while, and I'm so blessed to have you here. We're all going to be extremely blessed when you hear this amazing voice. So, this is Phineas, and I believe we're going to have some accompaniment by our most famous Dave Millard, which I haven't seen in a while, and I'm so happy to see you, and Marcy too.
Good to be back.
Yeah. Woo. Phineas, Dave Millard.
I could do it, but I just need a little help with the.
Music?
Well, I need to connect it to the Bluetooth or whatever. I don't know if I can do that.
Let's do it. What do you need?
I just need to
Oh, you don't know?
carry out the thing. You know.
What are we doing?
You want to connect to the
Oh,
Bluetooth?
yeah, I can't do this phone now.
How about somebody else that has a phone that can connect to our Bluetooth?
Can you?
Yeah.
I'm not going to connect to Bluetooth from here. I can do that?
Yeah, we have Bluetooth.
All right, let's do that. I'm sorry.
We're advanced.
My bad.
Okay, well, let's just make sure that we get out.
I don't know how to follow that up, but I'll try.
Oh, wait.
Which one is it?
It's BP6 or something?
B06?
Yeah.
B06 is not connected.
Okay, so
That's successful.
now push connect.
No, it's not coming up. Is it coming up?
How about acapella? You've got musicians here, you've got Dave, you got Robert.
Oh, there it says. Now it's B06.
Oh, now you got it?
Now I got it.
Well, I don't know which button to push.
All right, that's good. That's good. That's good.
Let's push play.
I'll tell you. No, wait.
I might not have it, that's fine.
Oh, okay, so let's try something just to see if it's using it?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Really? No,
Unforgettable.
Oh,
no.
I don't get it.
What can we do? Let's do something that you know, and I'll just try to handle
Do
it.
some blues. Just make up some blues.
Blues?
Yes, let's do it.
Oh, wait. Oh, what's that song we used to always do? All blues? All blues? All blues?
Like Freedom.
All blues?
There we go.
Okay.
There we go.
All right. All right.
Thank you, Archangel Michael.
Okay. Whoa. All right. Okay. And. My funny Valentine, sweet Hanukkah Valentine, you make me smile with my heart. Yours are laughable, unphotographable, yet you my favorite work of art. Is your figure less than pink? Is your mouth a little weak when you open up to speak? Are you smiling? So don't change Stay, little Valentine, stay. 'Cause each day is Valentine's Day. Is your figure less than Greek? Is your mouth a little weak? When you open it to speak, are you smart? So don't change a hair for me. Not if you care for me. Stay, little Valentine, stay. 'Cause with you each day is Valentine's Day. Valentine. Thank you very much. And we just gotta do that again and again.
Can you push stop on my camera?
Hello.